Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm not good enough? Have you ever felt like success is a distant dream meant for others but not for you? What if I told you that the secret to greatness isn't talent, luck, or even intelligence? It's something so simple yet so profound that it can change your life forever. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey to a small village in Japan, where a humble craftsman and a young boy discovered a truth so powerful it will change the way you see yourself. This is the story of the stone polisher. And by the end of it, you'll understand why practice doesn't just make perfect, it reveals the perfection that was always within you. Picture this: a quiet village nestled in the mountains of Japan. The air is crisp, the streets are calm, and in a small, unassuming workshop, a man named Hiroshi is bent over a rough, jagged stone. Hiroshi isn't famous, he isn't wealthy, but he has a gift that leaves everyone who sees it in awe. With nothing but a cloth, water, and endless patience, Hiroshi transforms ordinary stones into breathtaking masterpieces. He polishes them until they shine like mirrors, reflecting light in ways that seem almost magical. People would travel from far and wide just to see Hiroshi's work. They'd ask him, "How do you do it? What's your secret?" And every time, Hiroshi would smile softly and say, "There is no secret, it's just practice." But one day, a young boy named Kenta arrived at Hiroshi's workshop. Kenta was curious, eager, and full of dreams, but he was also impatient. He wanted to learn the craft, and he wanted to learn it fast. Kenta eagerly picked up a rough stone and began polishing it with a cloth. At first, his hands moved quickly, full of energy and excitement, but after an hour, his arms grew tired and the stone, well, it looked only slightly smoother. Frustrated, Kenta turned to Hiroshi and said, "This is taking too long. Isn't there a faster way?" Hiroshi looked at Kenta with kind eyes and said, "There is no shortcut. The secret is not in the technique, but in the time and effort you dedicate. Each stroke of the cloth removes a tiny imperfection. Over time, those small efforts add up, and the stone reveals its true beauty." Kenta was skeptical. He wanted results, and he wanted them now. But something in Hiroshi's words struck a chord, so he decided to trust him. Day after day, Kenta returned to the workshop. He polished the stone for hours, even when his hands ached and his patience wore thin. Days turned into weeks and the progress was barely noticeable. Kenta often felt like giving up, but every time he wanted to quit, Hiroshi would gently remind him. Every great master was once a beginner. What separates them from others is their willingness to keep going, even when the results seem invisible. Then, something extraordinary began to happen. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the stone started to change. The rough edges smoothed out. The dull surface began to glimmer. And one day, as Kenta held the stone up to the sunlight, he saw it. A reflection so clear, so radiant, it took his breath away. The stone had become as beautiful as the ones Hirotoshi created. Overwhelmed with joy, Kenta ran to Hiroshi and exclaimed, "Look, I did it! The stone is perfect!" But Hiroshi shook his head and said, "No, Kenta. The stone was always perfect. You simply revealed its true nature through your dedication and practice." This story isn't just about polishing stones. It's about you. Each of us is like that rough, jagged stone. We have imperfections, we have doubts, we have struggles, but beneath all that, there's a version of us that's already perfect, waiting to be revealed. And the key to unlocking that potential is practice. Practice isn't glamorous. It's repetitive, it's tiring, it's often frustrating. But every small effort you make removes a tiny imperfection. Over time, those efforts add up and you begin to shine. The truth is, greatness isn't born, it's built. And it's built through consistent, deliberate practice. So, the next time you feel like giving up, remember the stone polisher. Remember that every stroke of effort, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your true potential. You don't need to be perfect today. You just need to keep practicing, because practice doesn't just make perfect. It reveals the perfection that was always within you. If this story inspired you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Beyond Limits for more motivational content. Remember, your journey to greatness starts with a single step, or in this case, a single stroke. See you in the next video.